mata mu bar dukan so, mu bar zagin so shi ya fi kyau makarabin so. A daina bawa duka kira ga musulmi, kasar mu arewa za mu rike da al'adar mu. Da labarin wani zamfara wannan gabu ne, yana ƙaunar wata yarinya a shekar kone. Maganar aure na su ta yi nisa aure sunna ne, idan kun duba za ku gane da su a tsakani. Ta dai mishi ƙauna hakika kamar shi rai ne, a yau aure nasa an ɗaura babban nasara ne. Sati bin ta yi gida dai sai ya hau dukanta, yana zaginta yana dukanta. Matar da ya aura don sha'awa a yau bai santa, mai dukan mai ƙaunar zalunci ba zai ɗore ba. Mu bar yin aure don sha'awa biyo don bauta, ka sani dukan mai ƙaunar zalunci ba zai more ba. Mu bar yin aure don sha'awa biyo don bauta. A addinin mu ba duka da al'adar mu duka mu sani, iyayen kowa ne mata mu bar dukan so, mu bar zagin so shi ya fi kyau makarabin so. A addinin mu ba duka kira ga musulmi, kasar mu arewa za mu rike da al'adar mu. Kai mata masu daraja, iyaye mata masu daraja, mata masu daraja, iyaye mata masu daraja. Mu girmama mata masu daraja, iyaye mata masu daraja. Mu taimaki mata masu daraja, mu taimaki mata masu daraja. Muna ke shanko, iyayen kowa ne mata mu bar dukan so, mu bar zagin so shi ya fi kyau makarabin so. A addinin mu ba duka kira ga musulmi, kasar mu arewa za mu rike da al'adar mu. Silar kawo kowa duniyar gaba maka wasu an mata, gama da kamar so al'umma mu bar raina so. Nice silar kawo kowa duniyar gaba maka wasu an mata, gama da kamar so al'umma mu bar raina so. Duk wanda ya zo na duniyar kwarai ya zo sanadin mata, iyayen kowa ne mata mu karagin so. Taya ne zan ce ma sarki, taya ne zan ce ma zaki, idan har kai dukan mata, iyayen kowa ne mata mu karagin so. Gani dai iya sani na babu rabo sai shashashan da ke dukan mata dai ya mance aure ne bauta. Mutum so mara ilimi shi ke dukan su, kana zage su da tsangwama kamar baka kishin mata. Abin da ka shuka ran girbe shi ne ribar ka. Dan kwairo na yi takaicin waɗanda ke dukan mata, abin da ka shuka ran girbe shi ne ribar ka. A yau faɗakarwa ce zan yi da harshen Hausa kuna ji na jama'a na arewa musan darajar ƴaƴaye mata. Iyayen kowa ne mata mu bar dukan so, mu bar zagin so shi ya fi kyau makarabin so.
The Honorable Commissioner, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to announce the arrival of the Emir of Damaturu, ably represented by the Waziri of Damaturu, Alhaji Maisanda Lawan. You're welcome to this great occasion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me also remind us that we have all gathered here today for the official commissioning ceremony of the Women and Girls Entrepreneurship Development and Empowerment Hub here in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital. This project is being funded by the government of Japan through UN Women in collaboration with Yobe State government. Permit me to say that over 500 women shall receive empowerment support, being trained in various skills of their choice. We also have the honor of expecting the arrival of His Excellency, the Yobe State Governor, Honorable Maimala Buni, ably represented by his deputy, Honorable Idi Barde Gubana, whom we are expecting any moment from now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this great occasion is also covered live, and you can log on to our website, www.yobestate.gov.ng, to view it live from wherever you are. We have our able pressmen that are also here to cover it. We're also privileged to have people who have come from far and wide to make sure that they are a part and parcel of this great occasion. We are happy to have you all here, our dear beneficiaries, women from great organizations, women who have gathered to also rejoice in the same vein for the empowerment of their fellow women. We all welcome you, and we say Yobe is blessed having such empowerment being carried out in the state. No doubt we are going to really enjoy this for a very long time, as the hub will give room for women to continue to receive empowerment and training of different sorts. We also have a hall that will also assist in accommodating or hosting women activities henceforth. We remain grateful to the government of Japan with support from UN Women and the Yobe State government for seeing it important that women in Yobe State should enjoy this great gesture. No doubt we are not really surprised that it's coming, because the government of Maimala Buni has always been keen to see into the empowerment of the gender, especially women, and making sure that anything that has to do with them is done with them and for them. You're welcome, distinguished personalities, and we say we greet your indulgence while we wait the arrival of His Excellency, the Yobe State Governor, to this great occasion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, from afar I could hear definitely a sign of the coming of our dear Governor, Honorable Maimala Buni, ably represented, and any moment from now I shall call every personality, wherever you are seated, to please be on your feet while we receive him. But until his arrival, let me continue to thank you for making sure you honor this great occasion, and we pray that everything we're going to do today will be done according to the terms and context of Yobe State, making sure there is sustainability, making sure that everyone who is supposed to benefit and be part of this gesture is not left out. We thank even the Honorable Commissioner. She has always been keen in making sure that women in Yobe State benefit whatever that is theirs and make sure that they are not left out in every development project. We've been enjoying this, and we know that much more is expected even from now. Distinguished personalities, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please arise as we welcome, as we announce the arrival of His Excellency, the Yobe State Governor, ably represented by the Deputy State Governor, Honorable Idi Barde Gubana, to this great occasion. This is announcing the arrival of His Excellency, the Yobe State's Governor, represented by the Deputy Governor, Honorable Idi Barde Gubana, to this great occasion. Permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to also hand over to the Press Secretary of the Deputy Governor, Malam Meisile, to please take it on from here. Thank you.
Your Excellency, distinguished guests, may we please rise for the national anthem. Thank you so much. Be seated, please. Your Excellency, before we move into the prayer session, may we please seek for Allah's guidance, protection, and success throughout this gathering. I therefore invite the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Religious Affairs, Honorable Malam Musti, to give us opening prayer. Honorable Sola. Thank you so much. Honorable, we did not hear the voice, but may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant our prayer. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Honorable Maimala Boni Choroman Gujuba, Walindamatu Baradan Fika, Chairman APC Caretaker Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, ably and respectively represented by his Deputy, His Excellency Honorable Idiwade Gubana Wazirum Funel, the Speaker, Yobe State House of Assembly, Honorable Amal Lawal Nurwa, the Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Baba Malam Ali Menai, the Head of Service, Alhaji Mohamed B. Nura, the APC Chairman, Alhaji Mohamed Gadaka ably represented by the State Treasurer, Alhaji Said Baba, the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Women Affairs, Sajia Hawaba Abakar, members of the State House of Assembly, Honorable Commissioners, liaison officers, the UN Women Deputy Country Director, Mr. Lassana Wana and his team, the representative of the Emir of Damaturu, staff and management of the Ministry of Women Affairs, the beneficiaries of this program, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you and assalamu alaikum. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, we gathered here today, Tuesday, the 15th of March 2021 in Damaturu, the state capital, to witness the commissioning of Women and Girls Entrepreneurship Development and Empowerment Center, renovated with skills acquisition, equipment and materials by the UN Women, funded by the Japanese government. The aim of this program, Your Excellency, is to strengthen women's resilience in the Chad region so as to make them self-reliant economically and also to equip them on the income-generating activities in the state. The UN Women is an entity of the United Nations for Gender Equality and Women Empowerment. Those women are being trained on income-generating activities of their choice, ranging from sewing, groundnut processing, and other small-scale business. This present administration under the able leadership of His Excellency Honorable Maimala Bonichoro Gujuba has made concerted effort to improve the lives of women and children through Ministry of Women Affairs, Youth and Sport, as well as small scales in the state. Your Excellency, with these few remarks or introduction, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Women Affairs, Hajia Hawa Ba Abakar, to deliver her welcome address. Your Excellency, before then, let me briefly speak in Hausa. Mai girma gwamna Honorable Maimala Bonichoro Gujuba, wanda ya samu wakilci makaddashin sa Honorable Idiba Daguba na wazirin Fune, kakakin 'yan majalisa, sakataren gwamnati, shugaban ma'aikata, 'yan majalisan dokoki da kwamishinoni masu ba da shawara da sauran manyan baki, a wakili mai martaba sarkin Damaturu, wanda suke shirin cin moriyar wannan shiri, sauran baki da 'yan jarida, assalamu alaikum. A babban makasudin taronmu a wannan farfajiya, cibiyar koyar da ƙananan sana'o'i, mun taru ne a yau talata 15 ga watan Maris shekara ta 2022 domin mu shaida ƙaddamar da wannan wuri wanda aka kwaskware, aka gyara shi, aka samar da kayayyakin yin sana'a musamman ma mata, iyayenmu mata a jiha, da kuma rarraba musu waɗannan kayayyaki da zai tallafa musu wurin dogaro da kai da kuma yin ƙananan sana'o'i a gida da kuma unguwanni. A wannan shiri dai an ƙaddamar ne domin a tallafa ma wannan shiya wanda sanin kowa ne an sha fama a wurin tashe-tashen hankula, musamman ma ayyukan Boko Haram da sauransu, da kuma talauci ko kuma rashin abin hannu da sana'o'i ko kuma jari da yake tallafa ma al'umma, musamman iyayenmu mata. Muna fata waɗannan kayayyaki zai tallafa da inganta mana tattalin arziki a jihar mu baki ɗaya. A mai girma mukaddashin gwamna, ba tare da ɓata lokaci ba, zan gayyaci kwamishinan al'amuran mata ta jihar Hajiya Hawa Ba Abubakar domin ta gabatar da jawabinta, kana ta ba mu cikakken bayani akan waɗannan kayayyaki da za a raba wa mata a nan jihar Yobe. The Honorable Commissioner.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Honorable Maimala Buni, Chairman, Caretaker Extraordinary Committee, Walin Gujuba, Baraden Fika, Your Excellency, Honorable Idibalde Gubana, Wazirin Fune, the Deputy Governor of Yobe State, the Honorable Speaker, Yobe State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Ahmed Lawan Mirwa, Your Lordship, the Honorable Chief Judge and Grand Kadi, members of Yobe State House of Assembly, Honorable Commissioners, representatives of the Brigade Commander and the Police Commissioner, the State Director SSS, and other heads of paramilitary agencies, the State Party Chairman, All Progressive Congress, ably represented, Mr. Lansana Wame, UN Women Deputy Country Representative, the Secretary to the State Government, the Head of Service, Special Advisors, Liaison Officers, Senior Special Assistants and Special Assistants to His Excellency, Permanent Secretaries, Executive Chairman of Parastatal and Extra-Ministerial Departments, Executive Chairman of Local Government here present, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, securities, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Distinguished invited guests, it is a great honor and privilege, indeed duty, to welcome our dynamic and great leader, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Chairman APC Extraordinary Caretaker Convention Committee, Honorable Maimala Buni,
Walin Gujiba Baraden Fika, who is ably represented by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Yobe State, a dedicated, loyal, and committed leader, Alhaji Idi Bande Gubana, Waziri Mfune. I sincerely welcome all the esteemed personalities here present. May I also welcome our august visitors, Mr. Lansana Wame, the UN Deputy Country Representative to Nigeria, and his team from the UN Women. Your Excellency, Mr. Lansana has been in Yobe severally to see the progress of this project together with Madam Lillian to ensure that the Entrepreneurship Development and Empowerment Hub is a success. This shows the level of commitment from the UN Women to promote women economic empowerment and development, most especially women affected by the insurgency as a result of killings of husbands and breadwinners, as also destruction of properties and livelihood in the families by the Boko Haram insurgents. Your Excellency, I'm delighted to stand before you to welcome this august and esteemed gathering on this memorable occasion, marking the commissioning ceremony of Women and Girls Entrepreneurship Development and Empowerment Hub Damaturu, as well as the storage facility, wall fencing, and drainage constructed for the rice milling women cooperative groups in Gashua by the local government. The two projects stands at the total sum of 139,734,485 naira, supervised by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. Your Excellency, Women Entrepreneurship and Empowerment Hub is a building belonging to Women Affairs that was given to UN Women to renovate, remodel, and convert the place to serve as a skill acquisition center. The UN Women successfully did that and provided the facilities, equipment, and furniture, including generator sets and borehole, and a multipurpose hall for educational empowerment and awareness creation. These projects were done through a special intervention and aimed at strengthening the resilience in the Lake Chad region, supported and funded by the government of Japan through the Japanese ambassador of Nigeria, His Excellency Kazuyoshi Masunaga. As you are all aware, women economic empowerment boosts productivity, increase economic diversification, and wealth creation, in addition to other positive development outcomes. This Empowerment Hub project is a worthy cause that will bring a great benefit for our women in Yobe State. We are grateful to partner with UN Women to make this project a reality that will lead to a substantial opportunity for women, as entrepreneurship is a means of earning money and contributing to the family income. Women who are economically empowered contribute more to their family and by extension the society. The Women Entrepreneurship Development and Empowerment Hub will therefore no doubt provide skills training for women entrepreneurs with low skills, those from a lower economic background, and women and girls affected by the insurgency. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is also worthy to note that investing in women economic empowerment is a strategy towards gender equality, poverty eradication, and inclusive economic growth. It is in line with the above that the government, under the able leadership of His Excellency, Honorable Mai Malabuni, made concerted efforts and supported the ministry in the discharge of its duties and mandates through laudable programs and policies that promote women empowerment issues and children's welfare. In most of the intervention, particular emphasis is placed on the vulnerable groups and rural women who are found to be most vulnerable, to alleviate poverty among women and also improve their economic status for self-reliance and strengthen their resilience to cope with the negative impact of Boko Haram insurgency crisis. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me seize this opportunity to extend our profound gratitude on behalf of the Ministry of Women Affairs, beneficiaries, and the entire women folk in Yobe State to His Excellency, Honorable Mai Malabuni, for the untiring efforts given to the ministry in the discharge of its mandate. It is worthy to note that Yobe State, being one of the 3 states in the northeast geopolitical zone that was worst affected by the insurgency, the state has recorded tremendous rise and increase in the number of widows and orphans. The UN movement has always supported initiatives that complemented the efforts of the government in bringing relief and restoration of women and girls' dignity and livelihood affected by the insurgency and the COVID-19 pandemic that destroyed economic life globally. Your Excellency, permit me also to note that economic empowerment is one of the most powerful routes for women to achieve their potentials and advance their rights. The collaboration and partnership with UN Women aimed at improving and enhancing the livelihood of women and girls has enabled the ministry to train 900 women and girls on skills acquisition, different trades, and will provide start-up kits to the trained beneficiaries which we are about to witness today. The impact of this type of program are far-reaching, as it will greatly assist the beneficiaries to improve their financial condition, build strong confidence, and strengthen their resilience to withstand the shocks of Boko Haram devastation. Your Excellency, may I, on behalf of the beneficiaries and the entire staff of the Ministry of Women Affairs and the good people of Yobe State, to extend our sincere appreciation to UN Women and by extension the Japanese government for supporting women and girls in the state by renovating, reactivating this skills acquisition and training center, as well as the project in Bade, where construction of storage facility, wall fencing, drainage was done for the rice processing milling cooperative group in Bade local government. The support were aimed at not only impacting vocational skills, but to also encourage entrepreneurship development for self-reliance, wealth creation, and economic development in the state. It will equally contribute in the improvement of the socio-economic condition of the state in general. When women become active players in transforming their lives positively, it will impact on the lives of families and communities. Your Excellency, may I at this point humbly seize this opportunity to solicit and request the state government for a Toyota bus that will serve as a utility vehicle at the Women Development and Entrepreneurship Hub. The bus is, if provided, will improve smooth day-to-day operational activities of the center. Your Excellency, without these provisions, the center cannot operate. We are also soliciting for a monthly provision for the running cost of the center to ensure sustainability of the project. Because without the running cost, we will not be able to cater for the materials that will be used for training the numerous or the teeming number of women and girls that we plan to empower. Another key area needed is the provision of instructors for the various skills acquisition and trades, as well as security to guard the center from mischievous characters. Finally, I want to appreciate and commend those that in one way or the other contributed to the success of this noble project, particularly the Infrastructure Committee headed by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women Affairs, with membership drawn from key ministries and relevant stakeholders, that is Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Ministry of Budget and Planning, Ministry of Environment, the women-led civil society organization, and representative of persons living with disabilities, and all the staff of the ministry, as well as the press, that made this project a very big success. Thank you so very much, Your Excellency, for having you at this point to commission the project. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Women Affairs, Haja Hawa Bakar. Distinguished guests, We have to give her a special round of applause for her commitment and dedication to all the activities of women and children in the state. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, going by the programs of this event, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite the UN Union Deputy Country Representative to Nigeria, Mr. Lansana Wone, for his brief remarks.
Your Excellency, Honorable Mai Malabuni, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, ably represented by His Excellency Honorable Edi Bade Guban, the Deputy Governor of Yobe State. Your Excellency Mr. Kuzuyoshi Matasunanga, the Japanese Ambassador to Nigeria, who is participating in this event online. Excellency Honorable Ahmed Lawan Mewa, the Speaker of the Yobe State House of Assembly. Excellency Baba Malam Wali, Secretary to the Yobe State Government. Excellency Honorable Hajia Hawaba Abubakar, Honorable Commissioner of Ministry of Women Affairs of Yobe State, representatives of the government of Yobe State, the State Executive Council, the members of the State House of Assembly, the members of the civil society organization, members of women's movement in Yobe State, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I'm extremely honored, Your Excellency, to be part of the event today for the commissioning of this hub, which has been a singular and distinguished effort led by the government of Yobe State in collaboration with UN Women, but especially a distinguished effort of the Commissioner for Women Affairs, Honorable Hajia Hawa Ba Abubakar. Your Excellency, when Honorable Hawa Abubakar was talking, she mentioned that I have been here a couple of times. And when I came here the first time, as we do normally as the United Nations, I had a meeting with her to see among the different needs, but then the very needs of the women and girls in Yobe State, what we can do together. You may have also heard that UN Women is the wing of the United Nations system that work towards specifically empowerment of women and girls because of historical imbalances, but also advancing gender equity and gender equality. And I'm pleased that when we started this journey some 1.5 to 2 years ago, among other things, we are here today to commission this artifact. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I start by also appreciating profoundly the government of Japan through the embassy here in Nigeria for providing the funding that was needed to undertake this initiative under the project of strengthening resilience of women and girls in the Lake Chad Basin. We know that the Lake Chad Basin, but more especially northeast Nigeria, and specifically Yobe State, has been impacted significantly for a very long period by the insurgents in this part of the country. And it has been mentioned time and again that when crises of this nature occur, those who are impacted most are women and girls because of their historical disadvantages, but also because of their care burden. I was pleased when I made the courtesy call on the Deputy Governor this morning, and he specifically mentioned, I'm happy to quote him, that when you educate a girl and you educate women, you may have educated and developed a community. That when you educate and empower women, you have improved a whole community, because even when the men cannot bring food to the house, the woman can make sure that food is there, and the man can just come and eat and probably just go away. I thank you very much, Your Excellency, for acknowledging that, particularly in our societies in sub-Saharan Africa, where women have always been relegated to the background, even where we see that we have distinguished women who are lawyers, who are doctors, who are great politicians, and in our own case, who are even leaders of the global system of the United Nations. Just to mention that our Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations is a distinguished Nigerian woman. So it is important, and I'm happy to be joining leaders like the leadership in Yobe State, where the potential of women and girls is already acknowledged. The saying goes that men and women were created together to develop their communities. So it's like when you have a football match, you surely will have two teams to play. And if you play with only one team, then you are not playing any game. So without women, there can be no development, and equally so without men, there can be no development. Development only comes when you have men and women working together. Your Excellency, we are here today, as I said earlier, perhaps to mark the beginning of the relationship between the UN Women and the government of Yobe State. And I say this because what we have been doing is a preamble. And after this, we will not even go to a higher gear and do more development activities in this state. And I say so because I have been in this country for the last 3 years, and I've been to several states, but I must confess that I have been most encouraged and welcomed in Yobe State in talking about the development of women than in many other states where I have been to. I see the leadership in Yobe State as a progressive leadership, and it is that leadership clearly that will work with partners such as UN Women to transform this society. You need a leadership of this nature. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, what we have in front of us is a women's entrepreneurship development hub. It has just been transformed. When I made the structure, it was a processing industry. And my initial idea was to upscale that processing industry to one that can continue to function the way it used to be. But in my discussion with the commissioner, we realized that even the supply line will be a little limited now, because those who are providing the raw materials have all been impacted. That is the rural women who have been producing granules. So it is good that we have done that, but the next stage is also to be able to have that cottage industry that can perform what used to happen in Damaturu in Yobe State, and we are committed to doing that. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, women are not only in the urban centers, they are also in the rural areas. And it is precisely for that reason that we are also working, I believe, in Gashua, where we have established a storage facility. We are working with women smallholder farmers on rice production. But we have just about, or underway, we are constructing a solar-powered irrigation system that can support year-round crop production by those women. The rationale for working with women at all levels is that women of every category are disadvantaged in our societies, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa. It's not limited to Yobe State. However, if we work with women in agriculture, we increase productivity fourfold than when we just work with men. If you look around at who the entrepreneurs are, many of the micro businesses are run by women. but their businesses are not growing because they do not have the knowledge. And the same thing goes for farmers. Now the women farmers, even though they do most of the work, are not recognized when the extension people go to the field. They don't have access to financial facilities. They don't have access to technology and skill sets. As UN Women, we work with other UN agencies to fill those gaps and working with the government, the relevant government ministries in Yobe State to support the women and by implication the men and boys in Yobe State. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the other ministries who have been part of this effort. The Honorable Commissioner made mention of the Ministry of Housing, but also the Ministry of Planning. In fact, one of the incentives that we had to be able to undertake an infrastructure project in Yobe State was to know that the government truly has capacity to be able to undertake projects of this nature, and it was intergovernmental collaboration that has brought up to this stage. There is an engineer here in our midst who has been a front runner to this effort, and he actually transformed me into an engineer myself when he had to look at the details of these development plans and make sure that what we have here today is here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't leave here without acknowledging the great work of my own team members, specifically Lillian, our coordinator of the humanitarian programs in the Northeast, who has special interest in Yobe State, actually drive me to have similar interests in this state. Let me also acknowledge the work, the hard work, and the commitment of a technical staff in the Ministry of Women Affairs who have had several conversations with me and my team to make sure that we'll be able to design programs and projects that will benefit the women and girls in this state. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to pledge our commitment as UN Women to the women civil society organizations in this state that will support your effort going forward to continue to work for the rights of women, to continue to work with women who are disadvantaged, to work with women who suffer gender-based violence, and to work with the government and other stakeholders in ensuring that truly women are part of the decision-making processes in this state. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in efforts of this nature, but I have no question in my mind that the sustainability of what we have done and the requests that have been made by the Commissioner will be heeded to by the government of Yobe State. So an important part of this journey is how can we expand, scale up, embrace, and sustain what we have done. I know that the young entrepreneurs or the many entrepreneurs who have gone through these processes will be given startup kits. And sustainability begins there. Once you are given that startup kits, please make the best use of it. Please make sure that you truly transform them into empowerment for yourself, and please convert them into incomes for you, your children, and your family. And to the government of Yobe State, may I ask for the continuous support to this hub, but also to the women and girls of the state. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much, the UNN Deputy Country Representative to Nigeria, Mr. Lansana Warner. We thank you so much for your commendation on the activities of the present administration under the able leadership of His Excellency Honorable Maimala Buni Chiroman Gujuba. Please give him another round of applause. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, we are going to take a special remarks by the Japanese ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Kazuyoshi Masuanaga via Zoom online. But Your Excellency, we have some technical problem on the visual. We can only listen to the voice of the ambassador. Your Excellency, sir.
refugees and displaced persons and empowerment of women, announced at the 7th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 7, in 2019, which invited all African leaders and representatives of UN institutions to Japan. The Women Empowerment Hub will help women to recover from the impact of the Northeast conflict while strengthening their resilience and have them participate in the peace building and recovery process. The project will support prevention and response initiatives against sexual and gender-based violence and promote second chance education for women and girls. Particularly, the hub will be a space for women to learn livelihood skills, which will increase their economic security. It is estimated that on a yearly basis, at least 500 women will access services from this hub, including income generation skills such as tailoring, catering, knitting, cosmetics, interior decoration, handcraft, food processing, information technology skills, and literary skills. I am a diplomat with background in information technology. Therefore, I am very much interested in the ICT training provided in this hub. From my experience in past computer projects, I believe that women are by nature better suited to computer programming and coding. When cooking, women first plan the menu, think through all the steps, and make sure they have everything they need. There are some similarities between cooking and computer programming. Computer programming requires patience, fine-tuning skills, and the ability to deal with detail. I believe the computing and coding skills will help solve the challenges of geographical distance. I hope that in the future, you will enjoy the advantage of ICT, which will give you the possibility to connect over the internet with people beyond boundaries. People abroad may buy clothes or handicraft made with the skills you have acquired in this hub. You may also be able to get financial support from around the world through crowdfunding if you want to start a new business. I would like to use this opportunity to inform you that the 8th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 8, will take place on 27 and 28 August this year. During this event, Japan will make more pledges to continue to promote peace and stability in Africa with the aim of fostering Africa's prosperity by working in cooperation with relevant stakeholders. Therefore, the action of the government of Japan in Nigeria's northeast are deliberate and in line with the principle of TICAD, and we are committed to it. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to UN Women and all relevant stakeholders for their effort in putting this project through despite the impact of COVID-19 and security challenges. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, distinguished guests. That has been the special remarks by the Japanese Ambassador to Nigeria, His Excellency Kazuyoshi Matsunaga via Zoom online, but we sincerely apologize for the poor sound, please. Your Excellency, with your kind permission, we are moving to musical interlude and drama presentation by our troops from cultural Yobe art and culture to entertain this gathering. Yanzu za mu gayyaci ‘yan wasan kwaikwayo daga art and culture su ɗan mana kewa kafin mai girma mukaddashin gwamna gabatar da jawabinsa. Za mu fara ne da gangakura. Gangakura idan suna nan su zo, mun ba ku minti biyu. distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to invite the food from other culture for a short drama presentation on the activities of women affairs in the state. Okay, now can I also Oroso Kuzoro Mintibi. What are the Subine? Oroso Kunchi, second Moshaya. Uru Kunchi, second Badia. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, Honorable Nemala Bonchilo Muguruza, Honorable Nematu Africa, represented by His Deputy His Excellency Governor to deliver his speech and thereafter commission the renovated women and girls entrepreneurship development and empowerment, as well as flagging out the distribution of starter kits to the 900 trained women in Yobe. Your Excellency, sir.
Honorable Speaker, Yobe State Assembly, Honorable Amelon Midwa, members of the Yobe Assembly here present, members of the Yobe State Executive Council, the Secretary to the State Government and the Service Inclusive, Head of Security and Paramilitary Agencies here present, Mr. Lansana One, UN Women Deputy County Representative to Nigeria, and your team, special advisors, liaison officers, senior assistants to Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of the State, Honorable Bunichiro Ngujuba, permanent secretaries, chief executives of both and parastatals, both federal and states, local government chairman represented, representative of His Royal Highness the Emir of Damaturu, represented by the Wazir of Damaturu, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It is indeed a great pleasure to address this important gathering on this special occasion marking the Commission of Women and Girls Entrepreneurship Development and the Empowerment Hub renovated by the UN Women through the strengthened resilience in the Lake Chad region, taking place here in Damaturu today. I was made to understand that the project was provided with key acquisition equipment and materials, and the entire cost was shouldered by the government of Japan. As we are all aware, Yobe State is at present recuperating from the effect of insurgency, which, like most other material crises around the world, made women and children among severe victims. It is therefore a matter of happiness that on this occasion we will simultaneously flag off the distribution of empowerment materials such as sewing machines, knitting machines, pasta making machines, and craft materials, among others, to insurgency applicable women donated by the government of Japan. I would like to commend the UN Women and the government of Japan for targeting women as beneficiaries for this laudable material gesture. It may interest our August guest that the present administration of Yobe State is pursuing a multifaceted agenda for quick recovery and accelerated development. We have so far maintained our focus on the construction and provision of basic infrastructure to stimulate economic rejuvenation and in all aspects of human endeavor. Obviously, this drive will go a long way in complementing the efforts of the Yobe State government of post-insurgency settlement and restoration of livelihoods. In this regard, we have identified women agriculture as another possible area of cooperation with the UN Women for the advancement of women's well-being in Yobe State. The Ministry of Women Affairs is hereby directed to come up with a draft memorandum for collaboration with the UN Women. I would like to join the Ministry of Women Affairs to ensure proper utilization of the renovated and secured folk. In the same vein, I would like to appeal to the beneficiaries of the donated materials to use them in order to safeguard their dignity and for attainment of self-reliance. With this few remarks, it is now my singular honor and privilege to commission the women and girls entrepreneurship development and empowerment promoted by the UN Women, today being Tuesday, 15th March 2022 here in Damaturu. I wish our August guests fruitful success and subjourney back to their respective destinations and abroad. Thank you and God bless. In addition, waku yayi wa mata wannan taimako da Women Union Celebration wannan gwamnatin Japan ne kama da babban kaso na wannan abin da aka shirya nan da koya musu sana'o'in nan kuma da suke mun sani mu mata rashin samun sukuni mata sun fi mazan kishin rike abin da zai amfani irin wannan yanayi da ake kana ga gaskiya duka mun sani gwamnati tun da bayan zuwa yanzu hauka da yawa an yi maza da su zama dogaro amma abin a sha jiyo ka ba mutum kayan je sayar jiyo zara bin wasu daga mai shi to dan Allah jama'a ta yaushe za ka yi abu kanka ba ka da hanyar 200,000 na mai kyau an sai abin 500,000 an baka ka tashi ka sayar 200,000 ka tashi kan kun kazan nan su sani in kai matashi ne shekarun ka karuwa yake gaba yake iyali kake ya ta yi suke bukatu ba zai karu za ka ɗora wani gina haka kuma ka rasu maga Allah ba zai yi ba so mata na fi yawancin ku ba ba wannan sai dai mazan zalunce ku cikin dare gaskiya ne a yi a miki daɗin baki hawa wallahi ba ni ba a ba ki shi ke nan mace kuma abin da ke so ba ni ba ki ga ɗauki ya je sai da tuwa kashe sai da gidan jiya kar ku yadda ba ki ja